Hello students, welcome back in today's class. Today we are going to discuss in detail regarding the fourth general election that has been conducted in the year 1967. Okay, so first moving on towards the new topic, let's recap what we have learned yesterday. Yesterday we have seen in the video regarding the first general election that has been conducted in the year 1952, the second general election which has been conducted in the year 1957, and the third general election which has been conducted in the year 1962. So we have seen that in all the first three general elections, Congress or the Indian National Congress Party was the one who has not only won the election but was able to capture the majority of seats all over the India. Okay, so at the same time we have also seen that there were many changes that has taken place in the political scenario of India. There were many unresolved disputes, there were many unresolved problems like flood, drought, okay, then earthquake and all. These all are certain problems like poverty, unemployment. So these were some of the unresolved problems that was there. So it has been seen that because of this unresolved problem, and on add up of that, the death of Jawaharlal Nehru caused a huge disaster for the Indian democratic political system. Okay, because of which it was also referred as a dangerous decade, right? So after Nehruji's death, okay, in the year 1964, in the month of May 1964, it has been the another problem that has been raised for the Indian political system, and that was who is going to be the next after Nehruji, right? So for solving this particular problem, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji has been appointed as the next Prime Minister of India for the term of 2 years. That is from 1964 to 1966, he has been appointed as the second Prime Minister. But all of a sudden of Lal Bahadur Shastri ji in Tashkent, while he went to Tashkent for signing the Tashkent Agreement, okay, he was able to there as a Prime Ministership for only the term of 2 years. So again, for the second time, the same question is arising that who is going to be the next after Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. So when this question has raised up, the senior leaders who were there in the Congress, they have thought that let's appoint or let's do the unanimous decision and appoint an individual as the next Prime Minister. Okay, but there was not a unanimous decision that whether the candidate Indira Gandhi should be removed from the Prime Ministership or she should be there as a candidate for the prime ministership. So when this question has raised, since there was not such kind of a unanimous decision from the members of the Congress party, so it has been decided that we are going to conduct a secret ballot. Okay, so when the result of the secret ballot came out, it has been seen that she has not been able to won the election, but she was been able to gain success of having two-third of the majority votes of the Congress party members. Okay, so after winning that election through secret ballot, she has become the third Prime Minister of India. So the fourth general election, which has been conducted in the year 1967, okay, is the very first political, you can say, issue that has been placed in front of Indira Gandhi as she has become the prime minister. This is the first agenda, this was the first issue that she is going to deal with as a prime minister. Okay, so let's see what all things were there when the fourth general election, that is in the year 1967, has been conducted. Now as you all can see in the map that the assembly election result 1967, right? So this map shows that the area where the Congress has been able to won the election with the majority of the votes, and the areas in which the Congress could not be able to gain as much as success as it used to gain in the first earlier three general elections. So let's see. Next one we have is, see, this map has already been provided to you in the earlier video also. So this shows how much dominance the Congress party was during the first three general elections. Okay, next is, let's see one by one what all were the basic features that were there under general elections of 1967. Okay, now there were, as I've told you, there were many problems that was going on, And in add up of that, there was certain economical crisis that was also going on, like the failure of monsoon, the drought was there, decline in the valuation, okay, there was drop in the industrial production. So these were such of the economical crisis that was already going on during the 1960. Not only this, but the very first step that has been taken by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi ji regarding the, as you can say, the first step after becoming the prime minister, the first step that she has taken was devaluating the Indian rupee. Okay, now that devaluating the Indian rupee has brought different, you can say, consequences, but in a negative manner. Okay, devaluating the Indian rupee means, for example, suppose earlier $1 was equal to 5 rupees, but now after the devaluation of the Indian rupee, $1 is equal to more than 7 rupees. That means there is an increase in the amount. There is an increase is going to be in the amount for the common people especially, and they are the only one who are going to face the basic problem of earning their livelihood. Okay. Next one is regarding, so in protest, there was protest going on. Okay, and that protest was basically because of the first step that has been taken by Indira Gandhi ji, and that was your devaluating the Indian rupee. So there was a protest against the increase in the prices of the essential commodities, the food scarcity, and the growing unemployment. Now, not only that, but at the same time, there were certain problems that was going on. As you can see, bands and hartal have also been done by the common people showing their protest against the government. But these bands and hartal has been taken, as you can say, going against the decisions of the government. It has been seen in this manner by the government. Okay, the next that is there is related to your next point, which is there is non-congressism. Non-congressism over here is basically dealing with the opposition parties who were there. Okay, because when there was a protest going on between the common people against the government, it was the opposition party who played an important role, and that important role was they were the one who were there with the people or with the common people, asking them to protest against the government, because this is such kind of a step which has been taken by Indira Gandhi government, which cannot be acceptable. Okay, which is not acceptable for the common people, as already there were many economical crises that was going on. So it was very much difficult for the common people to go on with such kind of a problems. So non-congressism was basically the concept which has been, you can say, introduced. Okay, and the one or the person who has introduced this particular, you can say, agenda or this particular scenario is your Ram Manohar Lohia. Okay, Ram Manohar Lohia was a socialist leader who has started the agenda of non-congressism. Okay, because now the opposition parties have known that they are not going to sustain in the political scenario of India if they are going to work against Congress party individually. So it's better, why should not we all collaborate? Why should not all we cooperate with each other, so that we will be able to win the election after the or against the Congress party? Okay, so this non-congressism was a topic which has been started up by Ram Manohar Lohia, and Ram Manohar Lohia belonged to the Socialist Party at that particular time. Next is, now the result which was there of the fourth general election, that is of 1967, was referred as a political earthquake. Why it has been referred as a political earthquake? Point number one, this was the first election, 1967 fourth general election. This was the first election which has been conducted without Nehru ji. Okay, so as we all know that Nehru ji was one of the influential leader of the Congress party. Okay, so because this was the first time when the election has been conducted without his presence. Okay, second thing, this was the first time when the prime minister who has been appointed of India was the newest one and were not so experienced as compared to the other senior members of the Congress party. Okay, so because of these, the result has been referred as the political earthquake. Now, though the Congress was able to win the election, but there were many, like 9 states in which Congress party could not be able to sustain their majority votes as they had got in the first three general elections. Okay, so after Congress, it was Swatantrata Party who has won the second position in the 1967 election and has won the 44 seats. Okay, now the 9 states which we are talking about in which the Congress could not be able to make its majority is your Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Orissa, Kerala and Madras. Now we call it as a Tamil Nadu. Okay, so these were the 9 states in which it could not be able to sustain for a very long term, or you can say Congress could not be able to gain the majority of votes in these 9 states as it has got in the earlier elections. So this has resulted into coalition government. How coalition government? As I've told you in the earlier point, that non-congressism. Now the opposition parties had got a chance, had got an opportunity to do some step against the main Congress party. So that was in the result of, or in the form of, coalition government. Now the different regional parties, the different state parties have collaborated together to make a coalition form of a government, and that coalition form of a government has been referred as Samyukt Vidhayak Dal. Okay. Now next is term defection. This is very important when it comes to Indian political system. What do we actually understand by the term defection, right? So in Hindi we refer it as Dal Badlu Ki Rajniti. That means the term defection has been introduced because of one of the MLA of Haryana at that time, and that was the person who has also, you can say, provided us with a, you can say, it's like provided us with a slogan which can explain the term defection very well. Okay, and said that term was Ayaram, Gayaram and Heram, because the person that you can see in the above picture is the Ayaram. Okay, Ayaram, and the name that has been, you can say, Ayaram, Gayaram and Heram, and the person or the minister or the MLA of Haryana, as you can see in the above picture, is your Gayalal. Okay, so the name of the person of this particular MLA is Gayalal, who has provided us with the slogan of Ayaram, Gayaram and Heram. Okay, all of you can get this particular cartoon in your NCERT textbook also. Okay, so please refer that if there will be any problem. So the term defection which is there, it is basically referring Dal Badlu Ki Rajniti. That means a particular political member who is keep on shifting from one party to another party. Okay, and Gayalal was one of the MLA who has shifted for more than 3 times within the tenure of 15 years. Okay, so changing the party from one to another can be referred as defection. Okay, because if you are winning the election from one particular party, you cannot change your party just after winning that election into another one. Okay, so that's why the Hindi term that you can say Dal Badlu has been used. So the term defection means that a particular political member who is keep on changing his party from one to another after winning the election from the former seat. Are you getting? So this is basically the term defection means, right? So today we have learned regarding what is 1967 election, what were the different problems that has to be faced during 1967 elections, okay, and what was the earlier scenario that was there of the 4th general election, right? Then how much seats has been won by the second party after the Congress, that is the Swatantrata Party, right? So Swatantrata Party was been able to gain success of the seats of 44 seats. Then we have done regarding the defections, which is also referred as a Dal Badlu Ki Rajniti. Then we have seen the slogan or the person that has provided us with the slogan of Ayaram, Gayaram and Heram. Okay, students. So this much for today. Okay. Then from tomorrow we are going to continue with the next topic, that is split in the main Congress party. This much for today. Thank you, class.